Okay, it's Monday, January the 6th, 2014. We're back from break after our 2 weeks off. So our next generation science standards are right here, what we're going to learn about today. 21st century learning skills and themes. Okay, what you're going to learn today is you're going to be able to define and explain the skull, skull bones, and all parts of the skull. How you're going to learn it is you're going to learn it by studying informational text and diagrams, and you're also going to learn from lecture from the instructors and working in groups to complete your formative assessment at the end of the class. So let's go ahead and look at the materials. You're going to have Cornell notes, or what I call Falcon notes now. That's going to give you all about what we're going to learn today, and be sure when I go over this that you underline everything that I tell you that's important, because at the end of this week, before we get into our finals, you're going to be given a test at the end of the week, either on Thursday or Friday. So you need to make sure you understand everything that we're going over today. But pretty much we're going to learn the skeletal system has two parts, what's called the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton has 80 bones, appendicular has 126, for a total of 206 bones in the body, plus or minus one. Usually people can have an extra bone, or they can be missing a bone somewhere in their body. So then we're going to learn about how they have different types of bones, everything from long bone to what's called a sesamoid bone. We'll learn more about that in our lecture today. Then we're going to go over all the different types of bones. So that's the topic we're going to do today. Then we're going to also give you, Mr. Nichols and I are going to give you a diagram of the human skull. Sorry, it's not going to be in color, what you have, but you can still be able to differentiate from it. Everything from the zygomatic bone, which is right here, the maxilla, or the upper part of your mouth, the mandible, or your jawbone as it's commonly called, the temporal bone here where your ear is. We'll learn about that in a little detail. The crane, the upper part of your bones, the parietal bone, frontal bone, and our occipital bone, which is by your occipital part of your brain, nasal bone, lacrimal bone, and all those things in your skull. And here's a frontal view showing the skull looking from the front. This obviously is from the side. Then here's what's called a cross section, where you're looking through the skull, where you have the temporal bones, one on the left, one on the right. And you have this bone here that's in pink called the sphenoid, which is like a bat. Kind of looks like a bat. Very important bone in the human body. And you've got the area part of your ethmoid bone called the cribriform plate, and the crista galli, which is the middle of that, and the frontal bone and all the bones around your skull. So make sure you know we're going to go over that today, so you learn about that. Then at the end of the class, probably as a group effort, you're going to go through and you're going to answer, it looks like 14 questions. Make sure you understand everything, and that's 50 points, so it's important that you get through that today and understand everything. So get out your notebooks, and we're going to get this done today.